Hey everybody, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. This is an eye look that I had spent a lot of time creating in a previous video. The video became too long, so I had to splice it out. I'll include the part 1 video in the description box just for a point of reference if you'd like to see it. I'm going to prep my lids. I am going to use my Revlon Color Stay Skin Awaken. This is the 24-hour 5-in-1 concealer in the shade Universal Brightener. It has a sponge applicator. Now this is something that I want to use up because it's so good. I got way too much on. Don't need very much, but this is a product that I don't want to see in the trash. This is a product that I absolutely do not want to see expired because I didn't use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin my hair up a little. I'm gonna pick up the excess off the sponge because I really got too much out of there. I'm actually gonna just go ahead and use this for some concealer on my nose. This is the e.l.f. Lock-On Liner and Brow Cream in the shade, this is the shade Light Brown. My daughter-in-law gave this to me. It's not a good shade for her, so she gave it to me, and it literally has like been dipped into maybe 3 times. So I used it once. I didn't really give it enough of a chance to decide whether I really liked it. I'm hoping that I can use this as a brow filler without having to use an extra product to hold it in place. So I'm not sure, but let's give it a try. This is my BS Small. This is the liner brush, and it has a spoolie on the end. So I am going to just dip a little in there. Let's see how this goes. My very favorite eyebrow product of all time, there's a couple. There is one from Benefit called Gimme Brow. I liked how that worked. It was just the right, it was just the right formula with a little spoolie to brush on my brows, and it worked really well without being overdone. I liked that a lot. And then the other one is the IT Cosmetics Universal Taupe Pencil. There is one with a regular tip, and then there's one with a more fine tip. Those are both really nice eyeliners. Not eyeliners, eyebrow pencils. Have I been saying eyeliner? I hope. This seems to be working pretty well so far. I'm not finding it to be, I think this is probably a good color. I've also gotten over the idea that my eyebrows are gonna match. I'm missing hair that used to be right here. I used to have really nice thick eyebrows. I overwaxed and I took out a big chunk on both sides and it never grew back. That is a bummer. So I'm just working with what I have, and also just coming to terms with the fact that my eyebrows don't have to be perfect, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time worrying about it. Anyway, we'll see if they stay in place. That's going to be the kicker. I'm going to go in, I've used this before. This is ColourPop. This is Blush Crush. I haven't used this in a while. There's a shade here. I've used this before a few times. I really like ColourPop. It's called Blush Wine, and it's quite deep. Then there's a less deep shade called New Rouge, and it's there. So there's quite a bit of a difference between the two. What do you think? I am going to be gutsy and daring, and I'm gonna go ahead and create a look with this darkest shade, the Blush Wine. What have I got to lose? I'm going to take this this BS Small Flame eyeshadow brush. I'm going to sweep my entire lid with this shade here called The One. It sort of looks like that. Plop this on here. This might be borderline smoky, And if it just turns out to be too much and I just don't like it, I've got plenty to work with here where I can tone it down. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. I am currently in the Pacific Northwest, where I am from originally, visiting my son and his wife, and I'm having a really, really, really nice time spending time with them. They got married about this time last year, and this is the most time I've been able to spend with them, consistently for a long time. So it has just been a really, really nice visit. I'm really loving spending time with my son. I'm very close to my son. Anyway, I'm having a great time visiting. They have a really nice apartment that overlooks the city, but there's a lot of traffic, and there is it's downtown, so there's a lot of noise. It's also by a harbor and commerce that goes on down there, including trains. So if you're hearing trains, that would be the reason. And also the sirens, because we are in town. So if there's that kind of disturbance, and also they live in an apartment, so I might hear other people's dogs barking or voices and things like that. So that's the reason for that. Okay, I'm gonna go in now, with the blush wine. It's best I start with my finger, and then I find that if I do that, I seem to have more control and there's less fallout. So, and then I can go in with a brush and smooth it up if I need to. But okay, so that's really pretty, and it's very, I love me some shimmer. So I can see a little fallout, not terrible, but I will be able to clean it up. I'm prepared for anything today. Oh my. That's really pretty. My finger is not small enough to get in those little spots that I need it to get into. So this is actually a BS Small concealer brush, but I like the flat end and it's firm. So I'm gonna go in here and use it to sort of spread it around a little bit, which is working perfectly. Right there, up into the crease. Oh yeah, that is a good brush for that. That's a memo to myself to use that again for that reason. So I am going to bring a little bit of that up into the crease. I wasn't sure how far I was going to take it because I don't think I've used this before, but I'm gonna go for some drama today. Ooh. Okay, that was a good choice. I bought this, I think, last September. And I haven't used it a lot. I have a tendency to use the same shadows over and over just in my everyday if I'm wearing makeup, because I'm so conservative. Just, I don't typically go out wearing a lot of heavy makeup. But it is so fun to play with it. It's fun to see what I can do, and just see what ideas I can come up with. That's really pretty. Probably gonna bring it up a little bit more, like I would a smoky look, sort of. I've never really thought of a dark wine shade as being smoky, but if it's covering your eye in a sort of a dark fashion, I guess it falls under the smoky eye, doesn't it? This is really, I think this is going to be one of my more fun videos, probably one of my more fun looks, I think. I can tell you that when I go through my declutter, this particular eyeshadow palette will be staying. Definitely will be staying. All right, let's see if I can match the other side for now. Because this brush works so well, I'm not going to use my finger this time. I'm going to just try to apply it with a brush and hope it doesn't get all over my face. Let's see how it goes. Oh, so far so good. So far so good as far as fallout, but using my finger, I was able to get more product at one time initially, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to just help things out a little bit by using my finger and then push it around with a brush like I did last time. I can see fallout, but I'm telling you, it's not that bad. I've used much higher end shimmer shadows before that that are much more expensive, that have horrific fallout, which is a bummer. Okay, now I'm going to go in, push it around with this brush. Okay, this concealer brush, now I know what I want to use to push around dark, shimmery shadow on my lid. Definitely. This is the trick right here, is getting the tone to be even. That's very dramatic, and I really like it. You may or may not be aware of this, but most people's faces are not symmetrical. So a lot of times when you're putting your makeup, especially your eyes, when you're applying makeup, trying to get your eyes to match can be tricky, because you'll have one eye that just is more droopy than the other, or more deep set than the other, or bigger than the other. So it's interesting, where you're doing the exact same thing on both eyes, but you're getting a different look, and that's because we're not symmetrical. Most faces are not. I am going to continue to move this up toward my brow and use it as a basic all over shade, but I'm thinning it out so it's not quite so heavy up there, because I'm not going to put a different shade. I'm not going to add a different shade, in my crease or anything. I'm going to stick with this dark shade, and then move it up toward up by my brow, and then I will do something to highlight under my brow. Really impressed with this brush though. And I am taking my time because, this isn't something that is intuitive to me. One thing about putting on these deeper colors on your eyes, especially when you have on no other makeup on your face, you look a little ghostly at first, but when it all comes together, it looks amazing. I think that's good enough for that. Thank you, little brush. I'm gonna take one of these lighter shimmer shades and just kind of put it in the center of my eye and just see how that goes. So I'm gonna go in with Enamored here, and I'm gonna use my finger, and that's what it looks like. I just wanna see how that is going to, I hope I don't ruin it, so I'm gonna be really careful with it. Oh no, that's really pretty. No regrets. Absolutely zero regret with that. It definitely didn't take away from the richness. It just gives it a little bit more because it's fun. I'm super analyzing that since we're just having fun with this, right? This is called How Rouge. I thought it said New Rouge earlier. It's How Rouge because I need my glasses, but I'm just gonna just tap a little bit there and because I want that shimmer look to stay more toward the middle of my eye. So I'm plopping this on the outer portion of my lid, just gently up and down. So that, yeah, okay. Do the same over here. Oh my gosh, this brush. I'm really, really happy with this brush. Okay. It's really doing the trick. I like that. I'm done with all the risky stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go back into this Blush Wine and my main eyeshadow shade, and I'm going to line my lower lid with it. This is a full edge liner from Bare Essentials. It's a really nice, soft, thin eyeliner brush. So bring it up a little bit. For my liner, for my top lid, I want something that I want something that's a different, bold color that has nothing to do with this. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna go into my IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty. There's a couple different shades here. There is Allure and there's Intrigue. And I'm considering going in with Intrigue because it's a wine color, but it's matte. So I'm gonna try that first. And if that doesn't make me happy, then I'm going to go in with the blue Allure. But I like the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. It's very reliable. All right, look at me being all completely daring. I am actually gonna go in with this Allure. I'm gonna go in with this blue color, this midnight blue Allure, and I'm just going to add a little more drama to that lash line. Now this is fun. Ooh. Okay, so this is, okay, yeah. This is fun. This is why I like doing YouTube. And also because you guys have, my friends, I feel like I've made friends in here that several of you who are just really faithful watchers and commenters and encouragers. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Especially when I'm absent for a while and you're checking in on me. Like, you know, when I started doing YouTube, I didn't expect that. So thank you for that. And I have some plans. And one of these days, when things kick in a little better, I'm going to have giveaways. I was thinking about having like, what do they call it? Like members, like a members, really cheap, super cheap though, but like a members part where I can go in and be a little bit more transparent. You know, like, you know, I know on YouTube, you know, I have my personality, you know, if you knew me in real life, I can really be shocking. I think I might start something like that where when I'm putting on makeup, and I might discuss some things that has nothing to do with makeup while I'm putting on makeup, and you know, just sort of having candid sort of conversations. I was also thinking about doing some live videos. I don't know how you know, right now I'm hovering around 1,480 subscribers or something like that. It fluctuates a little bit. I've been hovering there for quite a while, but I also haven't been working my channel like I normally would, because I've moved around a lot and been a little bit trying to get my footing. But I don't know how it works. I don't know what you know, like if people are subscribing and they're actually paying like actual money to join those things, you know, there needs to be, I'm going to put a little of this on my lower lash too. It needs to be a value, you know, there needs to be value to it. So I had to think about that a little bit. I've thought about it in terms of, you know, like when I'm reading about like current events, or like I love to watch, you know, I like to follow court cases and things. And I've mentioned them a few times while I've been in here, and you know, I try to be gracious about things, but once in a while it's just like, what was this person thinking? Like how do people even get, like, who does that? I mean, you know what I mean? I try to keep it all about the beauty and the makeup, but occasionally I'll start talking and I have to really rein myself in. So I'm thinking if I actually had a channel, like a separate members channel, I probably wouldn't rein it in so much. Ooh, I'm liking that. Maybe I'll do that and see if you guys are interested in it. It would be sort of like True Stephanie, maybe tell you a little bit more about myself and the little journey I've been on, and also because there are things I like to talk about that are, you know, that I like to share, but I don't really want all my business out there just for the general public. well, first of all, I wouldn't put all my business out there for the general public, but there are things that if you're interested enough, I guess in me or my channel, that you want to know more, that would be like a group of, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. So, all right, well, I'm digging this. I'm liking this look a lot. I'm glad I did it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this. This is called Transforming Hello Light, and I'm going to use that up under my brow. This is a Pharmacy concealer brush. I like concealer brushes because they are designed for tap tap and to move gentle things around, but they're firm enough to get it done. So that's why I like using them for different things. So anyway, this Hello Light is a really interesting concept. It brings in some really pretty light. So I'm going to use that today. And then I'm going to go in with my mascara. So if you're still with me, I know this is kind of a long video, but if you're still with me, and I started a sort of members group, I can tell you right now, it would not be expensive. I will say to you this, that, when I stopped working my job in 2019, I thought I was taking a sabbatical. And it ended up turning into something quite a bit longer than that. It's been 5 years now. I never thought ever that I would be, not employed by another company or doing something. I worked in the government sector for like 25 years. And when I left, I just absolutely hated it. I had just gotten to the point where I was sick of I just literally couldn't take it anymore. So I thought, I'm just going to take a sabbatical and figure this out. And then COVID showed up, and then everything just went crazy. Okay, I'm going to clean up a little bit around my eyes. Like I did a couple of temporary type of things, and I did things to earn money that I needed to, and a lot of those things sort of dried up. The world just doesn't look the same. And I can tell you that life is short, and I am not interested in going back and doing something that I don't like. I'm not going to spend my life working for butt heads. I'm not going to spend my life busting my butt for people that hire you to bust your butt and then get pissed at you when you bust your butt. I'm serious. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. It's, I'm just not interested in ever doing that ever again. I'm interested in, using whatever gifts and talents that I have that are of benefit, where I am my own boss, okay? I'm not interested in working for other people and being treated like crap. When you basically, you go to your job, you work hard, you just need to pay your bills, you just want to live your life, and there's just all of this bull crap. And I'm not putting myself through that again. So I've paid a pretty high price for that, because I've refused. I've dabbled in a few things. As far as when I say dabbled, like I've looked and I've interviewed, and where it used to be so easy for me, because I have a resume that's, if you look at my resume, you would think she's totally hireable. Well, for some reason I'm not, and I haven't been able to really secure anything, and so that's where I'm like, okay, God, what are we doing here? Like, what's the scoop? Like, what am I going to do here? Because let's face it, if you don't have any money, it makes your life a living hell. And I only had a certain amount of money that was going to last me so long after my sabbatical, and then of course I earned some money you know, as I was going along. But in the last few couple years especially, it's gotten, I need to step it up a little bit. And so I'm thinking of ideas where I can fill in those gaps. So, because I do need to earn money, everybody does, but I am very interested in earning it in a way that is ethical, that gives me joy, that gives others joy. And so if I can capitalize on opportunities that are out there, I'd like to try. So that's the story. I mean, you know, I will never compromise my values. I just won't. And that's one of the reasons why I walked away from a very good paying job with amazing retirement and benefits. Like, walked away because I couldn't tolerate what I was seeing happening, not only just to me but to others. I just couldn't do it. So I'm not going to compromise. I'm not compromising myself like that again. I've paid a price for it, believe me. Believe me, financially, it has not been pleasant. So this is my, initially what I thought was going to be my throw it in the trash e.l.f. eyelash curler. I've given it a little bit more grace to try to keep using it, not least because I need an eyelash curler and I don't have another eyelash curler, but it's starting to settle down a little bit to where I can use it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put my mascara on now. I am going to be using, oh, there we go, pinchy. I'm going to be using a mascara that I picked up from TJ Maxx. Okay, this is annoying. It's still giving me fits. I picked up a mascara from TJ Maxx because I needed a mascara, and it was $4.99. And I know that when you go to TJ Maxx or Marshalls or whatever, and you go to the cosmetic section, a lot of that stuff is overstock. You also have to be careful about expiration and things like that. But I picked it up. It's called the Colossal. It does definitely give you some volume, but it doesn't have a lot of lift. And I also found the last couple times I've tried to use it, it was pretty flaky. So I'm going to be using this today, getting some use out of it. This eyelash curler just, getting some use out of it. You know what? I think I'm just gonna bag it. I'm just gonna bag this for now. I want to get some more use out of it, but this may end up in the makeup purge. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep over it because it wasn't expensive. When I look in the mirror and I can see mascara flakes have fallen, that tells me I'm not going to buy that again. So anyway, but we're going to use it today. I have things that I'd like to do. You know, I'd like to build a community. I'd like to give back to the community. People, you know, in this little journey that I have been on, I have been just simply undone by the generosity of people that know me and know what I've been going through without judging me. You know, they've helped me. God has been really good to me in making sure that I've been kept alive in famine. You know, when I say that, that's actually a scripture. I have not missed a meal, neither has my dog. And my dog uses expensive dog food because he's got so many allergies. Okay, so far I think I've spent at least an hour just doing my eye makeup, and because I'm just chit-chatting, okay? I think that's good enough for the eyes. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for chatting with me. So I look forward to talking to you guys again and seeing you again really soon. And I will see you next time.